live. So
Sorry,
we're probably live right now, and we're waiting for it to say live right now. So we'll see what's going on. Oh, now it says we're live. There we go.
So there you go.
All right, guys. Welcome to the first, the inaugural version of the Chopping It Up podcast. We said to hell with the ladies' night, threw that in the garbage, and we told you guys why the other week, so you can go check that out if you haven't seen it. So if you're looking for that in this slot tonight, we've got something better for you now.
You're out of luck.
What's going on, Moff?
Huge week. My God, man. I thought last week was crazy with the assassination attempt. Now we have a potentially actually dead president.
The rumors are he's dead now.
Nobody's seen the guy in 5 days. I guess might as well start there. So I guess it was yesterday or middle of the afternoon. Biden released a statement, and I only saw it on Twitter, of him stepping down. And there's so many question marks going around about this thing. There's so much murkiness around it about the signature looking weird. Why wasn't it on presidential letterhead? We pretty much know that the guy's not writing his own tweets, like he hasn't been. Yeah. It's like a 20-year-old staffer chick that's taken over his account. And then in his release, he didn't endorse Kamala Harris, but in his Twitter, he endorsed her for the Democratic nominee. So, but there's so much going on. There's rumors just swirling. Nobody's seen the guy. Now we're hearing that they had grounded some air traffic over the last week, that he was in critical condition as far as his health goes. Now there's even reports, people thinking that the guy is either on death's door or he's already dead. This is unprecedented. This is a guy who is the leader of the free world, the president of the United States of America. And we haven't seen him on video. He has not made a live statement. There's no presser. It's some tweets. People are even speculating that he probably doesn't even know that any of this is going on. So it's an absolute disaster, and it's absolute circus over here in the political world. And I, for one, I hate politics. I hate talking about it, but it's just one of those things that is so ingrained in our day-to-day that you kind of have to stay up and up on sort of what's going on. So
have you ever listened to like one of those political conversations on a space on Twitter X?
No, I've stayed far away from them if I can help it.
I tried to tune in the other day because, I saw this in the title that you put in there, Biden steps down. So like, okay, let's see what, the people are saying on the free speech platform. And they're just speculating in every possible area. Everybody, and you can't see them because it's just voices, but everybody speaking is very high pitched, low T, like soy sounding voices. It's not a pleasant room to be in. Like, when you get a phone call from somebody to talk to them, you can tell they're like what they look like. You know what I mean? Like they probably can't bench 3 plates. Like they've never squatted anything heavier than their own body weight, like this sort of stuff. It's a very difficult place to be, and I don't like being there either. So I get exactly what you're saying. But that would be hilarious if this guy's kicked the bucket a couple of days after that press release.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that's never been seen before, and everybody is now saying that. I mean, there's rumors swirling that the Obamas are behind everything, and Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee, and like Michelle Obama is going to be the VP pick. I mean, there's just I don't like to use the word conspiracy.
From RFK?
I
made a big announcement yesterday.
Now that I haven't seen. I thought nothing that I saw that popped up. I think he just was critical. I think he was critical of the idea that they're just going to put Kamala Harris as the new nominee. Basically, what they've essentially done, what the Dems have essentially done, is they've robbed the general public of voting for their own Democratic nominee. Everybody that voted for Biden, they basically gave them a big one of these and said, actually, it's not going to be him anymore. Everything stinks again, as usual, when it comes to this sort of stuff. So, and I think you can see this is really a dirty game. These people over the last 6 months, 8 months, 4 years even, have done nothing but drill into the public's brains how mentally capable Joe Biden is, how smart he is, how he has all of his facilities. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, he was fine. 2 weeks ago, he was perfectly fit to serve as president. He's perfectly fit to run for re-election. And now all of a sudden the guy might be dead, right? That's what we're dealing with at this point. So I think that's what the call out was by RFK, saying, listen, you've robbed the American people of their right to put their own candidate in the election because you basically turned the primary into a paper president, a paper candidate, essentially, so to speak. And there's people that are saying, well, yeah, okay, how is this democracy if my vote doesn't count and you essentially just get to pick and pluck whoever you want to be in there? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fall season for sure. The debates are going to be insane.
How does it work with the U.S. election process? Because here in Canada, we've got majority governments, minority governments. Like you can have a minority liberal government, for example, but they form a union with the NDP party, which is basically the Socialist Party, to pass bills. So they have the majority of the seats in the House of Commons. And if they just agree with another party to push through bills that work for everybody, they can control everything? Or do you have to have basically, control of the House or the Senate or whatever it is there? How does it work?
Well, the whole idea of the American government is this system of checks and balances within the three branches. So you've got the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Courts and all the courts. You've got the executive branch, which is the presidential and the White House and the wings. And then you've got the legislative, which is Congress, which is essentially the Senate and the House of Representatives. The Senate is 100 seats, 2 seats per state. The House of Representatives is, I don't know off the top of my head, I want to say something like 128. I don't know.
Is it population based, like LA and New York?
It's based on population. Based on based by
same
state
thing here
population.
in Canada. Toronto drives all of the fucking votes. Like the reason why Trudeau is prime minister is because of Toronto. Toronto's a liberal shithole.
Now, every year, and somebody can check me on this because, again, I started following politics a week and a half ago when we launched the show. So somebody can check me on this. But so essentially, every single midterm election, essentially every 4 years, you have the presidential election. Within that 4 years, every 2 years, the midterm elections are when you vote for your House and your Senate. So generally, every year, I think for the last almost 30, maybe until recently, if I'm not mistaken, 435 reps. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I thought it was so little or so few. But every year since basically the last time I can remember, and if this is different, somebody check me again, the House has flipped to the opposite party of the sitting president. So, if there's a Republican president, the House will flip to Democratic and vice versa. So it's kind of always worked itself out. I think that recently changed, though. For whatever reason, I think that when Trump was president, it didn't flip the House, but I could be completely wrong. But again, the whole point is the House passes legislation, then it has to go to the Senate floor. If it gets past both houses or it gets past both pieces of Congress, it goes to the president. He can sign the bill into law, or he can veto it. And then it can go back to the Senate or go back to Congress. And I believe with a 2/3 vote from the Senate, it can turn into a law and bypass the president's veto. So that's how stuff kind of works over here.
So
the president is largely a figurehead. I mean, he's got all kinds of executive powers and things that he can do without congressional approval. He can, for example, he can mobilize troops, but he can't declare war. Declaring war is an act of Congress, but he can deploy troops to, Iraq or whatever it is and shit like that.
Apparently the Democrats are moving forward with the plans to, what does it say here? With plans to select their next presidential nominee virtually. This is from 2 minutes ago. I just got this bling update on NBC
it's
News.
Just happening all the time. All the stuff that I was researching for tonight, it's pretty much gone out the window. It's all.
Despite Biden dropping his re-election bid, the party has announced tonight during the call reporters outline of his party. So it looks like they're still going to select their nominee. I mean, who cares? It's not going to be Clinton because she's already lost to Trump.
But if Biden is dead, Kamala Harris steps in as president now, tomorrow. Tomorrow. That's how it works. Yeah,
But
they don't re-elect the president. Like the vice president becomes the president.
there's got to be something in your constitution or like your process where like if a president dies, you have to announce it. Because in England, when the queen or king dies, like there's an entire sequence of events that have to happen in a certain timely fashion. I think it's called London Bridge or something like that, or Project like London Bridge, right?
But these people, there's zero incentive for these people to be honest about that. I mean, again,
you've already seen them being very dishonest.
I mean, my God, like what do they have to lose now? So yeah, the whole thing is.
Do you think it's going to be a fair election? Do you think that it's going to be?
I don't see how it possibly is. I don't see how. I mean, there's some people now that are saying that Trump would have kicked Biden's ass when it came to the minority vote, and now
a toaster oven
Harris is
Biden's ass.
Well, fair enough, but now what they're saying is that the minority vote, if it's Kamala Harris, will go to Kamala Harris. She's younger, and it's funny now because it's like.
Did you see that video clip of her with Montel?
Oh yeah, that's old news. She used to be a side chick for Montel Williams. Oh yeah. Well, there's all of it. She's got skeletons in her closet. I mean, the
word is that she fucked her way to the top. Basically,
that's exactly what it is.
What is the story with her stepdaughter? There's something that I saw about Camilla Harris's stepdaughter. Like, don't even ask about it because that's like a total.
I don't know. I do know that she was dating, I think, the mayor of LA or some judge. She basically, got into politics because she was dating some dude. She was very widely known for her. She spent time as a California DA, and she put Willie Brown's the guy's name, and she put many, many, many men behind bars for like very innocuous marijuana crimes. And she was, accused of fabricating evidence or withholding evidence because she wanted to keep her record of.
Do you want to see what her stepdaughter looks like?
Very dirty. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so this is what's come up. This is Kamala Harris's stepdaughter, Ella Elmhoff, shown here during New York Fashion Week. I can't tell if that's a chick or a guy. I don't see any breasts, and it's like I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so apparently Ella, as a Democratic leader and donors, expressed support and confidence. Vice President Harris, 25-year-old daughter of Doug Emhoff, the second gentleman. The second gentleman, is that what they call him? Is a Parsons School of Design graduate. Brand deals, modeling contracts. This chick's a model. Okay. Multiple companies, started her own company. Her father is a proud Jew, but Emhoff is not raised as a Jew, nor does she identify with a religion. Emhoff may help neutralize Democratic voters who were. I don't understand the relevance.
I think it has to do with her lineage. I think that everybody is the newfound panic around the JEWs or everything that's going around with this. I think that has a lot to do with it. So
yeah, there's a huge obsession on Twitter X right now.
I mean, look at that right there. Ella Elmhoff is
during the 2020 election, the Ford listed. I don't know, man.
So
I don't see the relevance.
This is what people care about, and I'm sure the commenters will correct us about how it matters and how this and that and the other. So,
all right, well, tell me how Camilla Harris's stepdaughter Ella,
is relevant,
dude, model-looking chick from Fashion Week, is going to have any impact. Like, I don't understand.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I should have watched the clip, but I can't remember. But Tulsi Gabbard apparently really wiped the floor with Kamala Harris in the debates back in 2020. So, but either way, it's just a complete clown show. And I think to answer your question, if Donald Trump is not the president, I think it's a clear sign of fabrication. It's a clear sign of tampering. It's a clear sign of fixing. I don't think there's any way around it. I mean,
or you could have a shitload of libtards that'll just,
I just don't think it's going to happen. I think
that's what happened in Canada.
Are waking up. But I think people have started. I think
we've had Trudeau in now for like 3 terms, dude.
Yeah,
Trudeau's been in now for 3 terms. He's been voted in practically. So it's like,
I think the pendulum has started to swing the other way. I think if Trump were to lose, it would be just as big an upset of when he beat Hillary in 2016. I think that's the kind of upset we'd be looking at. Like one of the biggest ones of all time. It's like David and Goliath, and it was crazy. It was absolutely
I just laughed my ass off at the Montel Williams side chick, because that's what she was. You could clearly, she wasn't even good looking when she was younger too. It's like such a bad video. Like, why
It's
would you bring
terrible.
her up there?
And she's just a dodo bird. I mean, she's just an idiot. Like, she's saying all these pithy quotes that don't mean anything, and she's trying to sound smart. I mean, it's just, my God. She would
There
just,
was
complete clown show.
somebody here. I'm gonna put up on the screen because somebody put up a video with a bunch of clips stitched together, and the caption was basically, "Has anybody considered that this bitch might be retarded?" Is the caption beneath it, and it's all these clips of Harris saying just dumb stuff back to back to back to back.
Oh, man.
That's
Has anybody stopped to think that maybe?
You got Home Depot cashier gets fired. What was that about?
Yeah, so this happened. I'll bring this up too. I have an article about it. So back when the assassination attempt happened, there was a slew of people on Facebook and across wherever that were saying comments about, oh, like, well, too bad the shooter missed, or you should have better aim next time. I'll actually, while you're trying to dig that up, I'll actually share my screen. So this was as I get this up, a Facebook comment that this woman made. Too bad they weren't a better shooter, right? And so what happened eventually is that, the Libs of TikTok chick, I'll wrap real quick. The Libs of TikTok chick, I'm not going to play the video, but apparently some woman, well, I'll play it really quick.
Are you Darcy Waldron? Yeah.
I was Waldron, yeah.
Okay, from Cayuga? And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
I am at work.
You think that the shooter...
They confronted her, and then eventually, I don't know if they still have it on.
She got fired?
Basically said she got fired. So then it created this huge discourse and this huge back and forth. And it's so interesting to see where people fall, because you've got on one side, you've got people that are saying, what are you guys doing? You're becoming the liberals that you hate. I thought you were against cancel culture. And then there's the other side of the coin. People are like, you have to destroy these people without mercy, and you have to burn everything down to the ground so that they don't come back from the ashes, and you have to teach them a lesson. So, yeah, we're going to get in the mud with them. It's been really interesting.
Okay, so this is the sequence of clips. It's anyway, I'll play it.
Remember Venn diagrams, those 3 circles? Right. And then let's just see where they overlap. You will not be surprised because I have constructed a Venn diagram on this. Remember those 3 circles, how they overlap? I love Venn diagrams. So I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, the 3 circles. The television coverage of just yesterday, that's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but just limit it to what we have seen. For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been,
6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe.
Did she just say you're right, Taraji?
Well, that's the woman's name.
In
Taraji
freedom
Henson.
and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
No, they not.
Oh,
nah,
man.
they not. Oh, my God. A Venn diagram, by the way, just in case anybody needs this explained to them, it's 2 circles that overlap with one another. It's not 3 circles. It's supposed to be this side is independent, this side is independent, and then there's an overlap in the middle. My God, what an idiot.
So they actually fired that chick from the Home Depot, man. I just want to.
They fired her.
That's awesome.
No, they fired her. And so now there's a lot of this discourse back and forth. There's a lot of people saying, oh, you guys are just as bad as the liberals. You're just as bad as cancel culture.
You know what?
Another side
I wouldn't go out of my way to do
actually,
it, but they don't like the medicine.
They're saying, yeah, that's what people are also saying. So,
yeah.
I've thought long and hard, because as somebody that was a victim of cancel culture, I hate to use that word. I was a victim, but I was, fired via cancel culture for, it wasn't even things that I was tweeting, it was retweeting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was interesting. I mean,
Cancel culture's wild, dude. Like I've had people try to get me fired from the debt settlement company that I founded back in 2003.
Yeah.
It's like they'll call my brother and start to fucking bitch out, and he'd be like, "Yeah, he's like the founder of the business, right? Like, are you stupid?"
What do you want me to do?
Cancel culture's wild, dude. It's wild,
nuts. But it's like these people
Anyway.
just have this illness, man. They think it's their job and their duty to, like, somehow. I mean, when I had my tweet go viral, the 30 million hit tweet about that woman on the dating app.
Yeah,
I haven't had a corporate job in over 4 months, and this guy was tagging me on LinkedIn. He's like, "Oh, like, wait till your employer finds out about this." I'm like, "What employer, dude? Like, what do you want to, like, what are you going to do about it? Like, tell my mom? Like, what the hell's wrong with you?" And of course, he was some dipshit, tech geek out of San Francisco. I mean, they all look the same and act the same, but either way, yeah. So that's been happening, and
awesome.
This Chaya, right, for the Libs of TikTok chick, she's been going around and doing her detective work on Facebook, basically saying, "Hey, if you're hey, mayor of this town calling for Trump to be a better shooter, you guys, et cetera." So there's a lot of that going on right now for sure,
Nice.
which is interesting.
No, great story with the cancel culture, not backfiring on him.
The director of the Secret Service was I didn't watch a lot of the coverage on that today.
Yeah, I saw the 2-minute clip, like the highlight of her getting grilled by that chick where she called her a fucking liar.
Troy. Oh yeah. She's just like, and of course he was like, "Oh, we've got to have decorum." It's like somebody can get up here and just lie, but make bald-faced lies and not tell it, and basically twist things around. I got to get back to you. I'm pleading the fifth, basically. These people just will never be held accountable. It's unbelievable. So yeah, there's hopefully going to be some repercussions. I don't know what they will be, but I mean, my God, this is just what happens. This is all DEI stuff. This is all the wrong people in the wrong seats.
I got some stuff bookmarked here too, man, if you want to go through some other stuff. So, we just did a Twitter X space. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter X. I don't know. Whatever the hell you want to call it. The guys are always asking about girls, man. It's just endless. I want to show you this thing that I bookmarked. It's this.
Oh God, I know this woman. Yeah,
I've seen her on social media. I don't know her name, but she says, "I ask men to show me their bank balance on first date. I need to know if I'm wasting my time." So I retweeted. I said, "No problem. Let's see your notch count on the first date. I need to know if I'm wasting my time." Hey, look, man. I'll open up the books. No problem.
Fair's fair.
You want to see the cash? You want to see the fucking gold mine? No problem. I want to know.
Well, what's funny is about this particular woman is the same girl who says,
what baggage you're going to bring to my table.
Yeah, she's gotten older. She's this boss babe. She used to be into Barstool Sports. She used to be part of that podcast, like the Two Chicks podcast or something like that, or Call Her Daddy. I think she was part of that.
Oh, she was one of those?
She was the original. She was the opposite. She wasn't the blonde one that created it. She was kind of like the coattail rider.
Yeah, that got thrown out after a while.
And now she was talking about how, and she's cheated in relationships before, but everybody gets one pass in a relationship to cheat. Just like fame, social media, and money.
Well, I mean, the stories that these two girls chopped up on the Call Her Daddy podcast,
disgusting.
They're disgusting.
They're horrible people.
And she wants to know what you got in your bank account, bros.
Yeah, and she's on a
you
live
got in your
podcast.
bank account. Forget about her past. Forget about all the disgusting shit that they talked about. It was a lot. She just wants to know what's in your bank account. So she's wasting her time or not.
And
right?
You're gonna date a girl, and you're gonna succumb to a girl who's talked about on a live podcast about having 3 dudes run a train on her at once. Yeah,
basically.
that's a girl you should take seriously for sure.
I'm good. And then I got another one over here with the alpha female. I don't know if you know the alpha female one. I don't even know who this is.
This is Andy Elliott's wife.
Who's Andy Elliott?
He is this sales trainer, big social media, kind of like this alpha male car dealership salesman. you'd have to look him up. We should do a show on him. But he's
what's his name? Andy Elliott.
Andy Elliott. Yeah, he goes around. He goes viral on all the time. Basically, he just like goes into car dealerships. Yeah, he's a screamer, and he's like, if you're fat, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, how many I could sell more cars than you? Like, I'd sell around. I don't know. He's like this in your face, like sales boot camp guy.
Okay, so
and this is his wife.
Okay, so just for frame, so you guys know who the boot camp guy is, because I think we should start with him.
Stage.
Because the next video that you're going to see is going to make more sense. So this is the guy that she's married to. This is like the, he's your typical, yeller bro. He looks like a former like Navy SEALs with like nose tape and shit like that.
Well, he's came under fire recently about screwing people over, but
your money.
Had to check it.
Yeah, that's who I want to be. How you doing? Andy Elliott here to just look at some the tree you called us about. Dude, what are we doing? You came to this guy's house. Do you think he plans on being your buddy? No. Do we need him to be your buddy? Yeah. Okay, so he doesn't plan on being your buddy, but we're going to make him our buddy. Andy Elliott, how you doing, man? What's your name?
Okay, so this is the dude that we're talking about that's married to this chick because she's on a podcast offering an opinion. Stop and then share. And this is the wife.
Even though I'm alpha, even though I've always been alpha, like alpha women still want a man to lead. If Andy would not be an alpha, I would have trampled all over him. I would have had him like a puppet. I would have done whatever I wanted with him. I don't want that. I didn't want that. I would have gotten sick of him and just been like, okay, there's a misconception. I'm being good to the family doesn't mean you have to be a suck up. Like, it's not that. You have to like stand your ground. Even though I'm alpha and even though I've...
All right, who wants to tell her? Even though I'm alpha.
It's
another
rough,
alpha
man.
Female, eh?
It's I don't know how. It's so interesting to me that you have guys like Andy Elliott. You got guys even like Alex Hormozy that are married to very domineering, masculine women. I mean, I'm sure there are more out there that I'm forgetting, but I don't understand it. I don't really get I think these guys are, again, they're just buying into the power couple or the build together or build an empire together, this, that, and the other.
Have these two been married for a while, or are they?
I think they have. No, I think they've been married for a while. I don't know exactly the entire backstory. I learned about Andy when I got into actually selling insurance like a year and a half ago. So he was partnered with Brad Lee at Real Financial, and they were doing some work together. And then
I know Brad Lee.
So they were working together, and they were doing some stuff. And that's where I first
Jackie Elliott, right?
I guess, yeah.
It doesn't say how long he's been married. Wait, before and after. Let's see here. Wild. I forgot something. Anyway, so you get the whole alpha female bullshit where it's like, there's no such thing. It's just a bossy girl that's generally pretty annoying, is what an alpha female boils down to. Women don't have the courage to be an alpha male. That's like one of the key components, right? Like there's a level of integrity and honor that men have amongst men. Yeah. And I think that's one of the absent thing. Also, strength, comes with that, like, the capacity for violence. And it's like, you could tie one of my arms behind my back and I'm pretty sure I'd have no problem dealing with Jackie Elliott if she wanted to like try to alpha me out in a fight or some shit like that. I mean, she's got some muscle on her, this chick. She's clearly on hormone therapy.
Gotta be.
Those chicks at the gym, when you go to the gym and they're like in their 40s or 50s, and you can tell that they're on hormone therapy, but they're taking a little bit more than they should be. And they're like jacked and ripped, like a 48-year-old
she's clearly
chick,
on anabolics.
Jacked and ripped, right?
Yeah, she's on some sort of anabolics, for sure.
No thanks.
Ugh.
I dated a chick once that was like 2 weeks out of a show. She was in her early 30s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those muscle bound chicks are not hot.
Yeah, it was funny, man, because we had that girl on Ladies Night that one time. She was in New York and she was trying to become a bodybuilder, and it's like,
oh right,
first of all,
that's right.
Why?
Yeah.
Two, it's if your pool is already small, your pool is going to be even smaller. And if there's one thing I know about gym guys may have the look, but man, they do not know jack when it comes to game or knowing about women. And they're usually aren't very well off financially because you can't. I mean, you can't be It's just if all you do is spend your time in the gym, like when are you working, when are you making money?
I
Maybe
see-
that's changing with a lot of remote work.
I see
but
these gym bros often where it's like young-ish guy, maybe 30,
Yeah.
he's working out with his girlfriend. They're both jacked. And then I'll go to the grocery store and I see him like restocking the produce shelves like 2 days later.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's what's also crazy is, man, the amount of young kids like 18, 19, 20, 22, 21 that are on clearly just ridiculous amounts of gear now. It's just off the charts. It is
not necessary.
It is. I bet in your average commercial gym, 50% of the guys there are on some sort of gear. Even the guys that don't even look like it are can be on gear. So it's like the guys that look like they are definitely are.
I mean, like you can spot the guys on TRT right away because they're all over 35, 40, and they're all in really good shape.
But
and they're not
that's what
looking like
guys wanna
naturals
do.
either. Yeah.
No, there's just this again that we're now in this culture of the instant gratification, and it's like, you know,
But there's more and more of these chicks now
they're
where you
just
get like these boss
blasting.
girls, like muscular,
huge.
sort of like,
Oh yeah.
you know, post wall, like post 35, 40.
It wrecks
They're in
your
really good shape.
hormones. Like it's like maybe if you're done having your kids and maybe they're grown and they're out of the house and you're just bored and you want to go do something, maybe. But man, if you are a chick in your 20s and you want to completely wreck your hormones and really drastically reduce the chance you're going to have kids one day, yeah, go be a bodybuilder. Like go be on stage. I always heard that chicks would lift to get really muscular had some pretty dark, deep issues potentially about like sexual assault or being overly sexualized when they were younger. But I still chalk it up to what we talked about last week. It's just here's another men's only space that is growing. And because I mean, nobody cared. Bodybuilding itself was very much a subculture, very underground. Like unless you were really, really into it, like nobody cared about Mr. Olympia. You know, in the 70s and the 80s and 90s and even in the 2000s, like it's very like the average person didn't care. Even if you were Mr. Olympia, like Ronnie Coleman won 9 Mr. Olympias, he still had a day job. He was still a cop. Like he worked 8 hours a day. It's like he couldn't live like some of these guys do now, where it's just the YouTube and the supplements and winning shows. And now it's just this whole big thing. And so it's like, oh, okay, well now this is super popular and now this is super lucrative and it's heavily dominated by the attention economy. Well, move over, man. Time for women to have their turn.
Less and less and less to the gym.
Oh my God. It's
like
just
I've seen women wearing less than like European bathing tops
that they would wear to bed.
Like fucking Greek islands, right? Like I'm telling you, dude, like bralettes that barely cover their nipples and nothing but like 4 strings.
Push-up bras. They're not even like sports bras were designed
bralettes.
To compress. Now
like
they
silk
push
bralettes.
Yeah.
Silk bralettes. Or like a tube top that's just
God.
like this much, you know, clothing around this.
And it's like the leggings are designed now to go up girls' asses now to give them the wedgie, like to shape the ass.
I know.
It's just like, man,
it's
and it's like,
it's
don't
insane.
objectify me. God damn you for looking at me.
You don't need to go to the
dare
beach
look
to
my
see
way.
like nearly naked women. You can just go to the gym.
Just go to the gym.
And they're all fit. I mean, like most of them are fit.
Oh yeah.
So at least they're pretty good looking. I mean, there's a couple of fatties in there still, but good for them, right? At least they're doing the work.
Yeah. I know some guys that are into that. They like the bodybuilder stuff. They're like, I don't like the on stage look. I don't like the 5% body fat, but they're into the, you know, off-season style look. Like, I only got to deal with her on stage stuff for like 3 or 4 weeks out of the year. But I'm like, man, it's like a dude. Like, how do you?
It's totally dude. It's totally
I can't do it, man. Like you said this a long time ago, and you got so much hate for this. You're like, chicks with abs are gross, and everybody was just like, arrest this man. It's like, what are you talking about? It's gross, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's gross.
No, I don't get it, man. Lips, tits, and hips is what.
Keep it simple.
Is what they always used to say. You know, back in my day, Coke bottle, right? Curve, right? And I think that's what guys still want. I don't see a lot of guys positively, you know, responding to, oh yeah, I want a chick with 6-pack abs and like shoulders like boulders, right? Like, where?
It's horrible. Yeah,
like,
that's especially the really masculine upper body, like the the rounded capped shoulders and the biceps. Like,
did I ever tell you this story about the fucking arm chick that like ratted me out to a bunch of other girls on a dating app?
I don't think so.
There was this fucking chick that I matched with. You know, this was a while ago, and she was jacked. Like in one photograph, you know, like you could see clearly defined triceps, biceps, shoulder delt sort of thing. And I didn't really look at all the photographs. And I just basically told her that I wasn't, interested, and, good luck sort of using it. Within 2 to 3 days, I got shit on by 2 other girls that I was fucking rapping with. One was like downtown and one was in, 20 minutes another direction. These girls have these conversation groups. And it's like, if you say something about them, maybe being too big or too muscular, they'll put it in a group and they'll be like, this guy's a fucking asshole. You shouldn't date him. And they get hit back by these other chicks. It's just, this new Facebook group they've got out there, are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
we have a mutual friend that was found in one of those groups that, had the same sort of thing happen. It's like, you get canceled as a potential opportunity because you say something to a girl that she doesn't like, and then she goes and shits on you to other women, and then they come and shit back on you. It's like, whatever, losers.
But stuff like that, it's just
Next.
it's the perfect example of how malleable and groupthinky and
NPCs.
herd-minded that women generally are. Why would women look out for complete change? Oh, because we're the sisterhood. Like, girls got to stick together. Like, girl
Women
power.
prioritize the sisterhood,
it's like,
dude.
no,
it's very important to them.
She doesn't want you to date her man. Like, if she couldn't lock Rich Cooper down, she's gonna damn sure make sure that any other girl is not going to be able to either.
Right.
If I can't have him, nobody can. Yeah.
Basically is what it boils down to.
Yeah. It's
Check this out. I got something else that I saved here while we're chopping it up. So this is one of these, Reddit sort of posts. Do I have to open this to read it all? Anyway, I don't know what WIBTH. It's probably something like, am I being an asshole here?
I think it's, will I be the asshole?
Will I be the asshole here for divorcing my wife because she cheated at her bachelorette party?
No.
So advice needed. Dude is like, title sums up the situation pretty much. I and my wife are both 35 and married for 8 years. Happy relationship, happy life, stable finances, a good house, and both working. However, this changed for me last year when I learned she cheated on me at her bachelorette party with a dancer, a stripper. I learned it because I found some questionable videos on our old home drive. She did not deny it or dismiss it. On the contrary, she was extremely apologetic and told me she'd do her best to make it up to me. I have no reason to think she cheated on me after that instance, but my trust is so broken that I cannot build it again. We are on marriage counseling for 7 months now, and I do not think it's working. I cannot see the relationship in the same light. I know we had a great life. We were planning to conceive this year, and everything is stable, but I cannot change my emotions. I started considering divorce for real and lost on what to do. So you guys probably haven't seen them or may have forgotten about them, but I've done 2 separate podcast interviews with male strippers, and they both said the exact same thing. 80% of women at bachelorette parties bang the stripper. There's usually more than one of them there. It may not be like full on slammage. It might be, oral or something like that, but 80% of the women indulge in intimacy with the stripper at a bachelorette party. So what do you think is going to happen if you let a chick go out with other girls, introduce booze, and a couple of Chippendales dancers show up wearing cuffs and a collar and nothing else but a thong? Of course shit is going to go down, you idiot, because you let it happen. And people shit on me for saying, oh, well, Rich doesn't let things like this happen. Like, he can control his woman. He's the one guy that can. Yeah, you just fucking deny them it. And if they don't like it, you call off the fucking wedding. It's very simple. Otherwise, you deal with this shit. And he's wasted 8 years of his life with a whore that cheated on him on her, basically, before they got married, right?
It's absolutely bananas. I mean, this guy, hopefully, I'm glad they don't have kids. If he's lucky, he gets out. He's going to get killed in divorce, I'm sure, but he's only 35. He'll be
well, they both work. They're both making the same amount of money. So he actually gets out scot-free right now if he leaves.
Yeah, if he leaves. But I guarantee, I know what I'm putting my money on. But here's the thing that I don't know if we touch on this enough, because there's the idea of setting boundary versus being controlling, because everyone's like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. And I think when you're just starting off dating a chick, that's when you say, hey, I don't take girls seriously that do X, Y, Z, ABC. I don't take girls seriously that go on girls trips. But you get to a point where the girl's in a relationship with you, or if you decided to take her seriously, that is now your authority. You absolutely can and should and will say, no, you're not going to do that. No, you're not going to wear that. No, you're not going to go there. No, you're not going to do that. And if you've done your job as a man and you've proven that you're a capable leader, she'll just say, okay. Or better yet, she won't even ask you, or she'll come to you. It'll go, she'll come to you and ask for your opinion. She'll learn that you're going to say no, and your opinion and stance is no, and she will accept that. And then eventually she won't even ask because she knows what the answer is going to be. And then eventually she won't even want to because she knows that she respects you and follows your lead enough that she would never even bring you such a stupid idea like a bachelorette party or a girls trip or going out with strippers. And because you would look at her like, what are you, stupid? Like, what are you, on drugs? Like, how in the world do you think you're going to ask me this right now? And so a lot of guys miss that. It's like, yeah, you absolutely can tell your girl or your wife, no, you're not going to do that. And if she follows your lead and she's in your frame like she should be, then she'll go, okay, sorry I brought it up and I won't ever bring it up again. But she starts fighting you on it and she's arguing. Like, you are in trouble, my friend.
Do not waste your fucking time and energy. You want to throw that super chat up there?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's asking about
Question.
betatization.
Can you break down betatization through 1,000 concessions? My brother is going through this now. Referred to him to the Unplugged Alpha book in your channel, but to no avail.
Trying to lead a horse to water that doesn't want to drink.
Yeah, you're generally wasting your time, man. Like, we've all done it. We unplug. We try to show it to our friends. We say, hey, look at these new skills I learned. Look at these great things that I figured out. Most people aren't going to listen to you, and the people that even do listen to you, of the people that do, they're going to resent you for it for the most part. They got to go through it on their own. But I mean, just to break down betatization through 1,000 sessions, it's essentially these small little innocuous things that start as no big deal. Like, hey, can you clean up this? Or can you put this where it goes? Or, hey, I don't like when you put your shoes on this side of the room. Can you actually put them over here? Or look at this great thing I got you so you can stay organized so you don't leave your toothpaste all over the counter. And you just go along with it. And you go along because it's no big deal and it's no big deal. And then eventually you've become domesticated and your entire life is controlled by your chick. And you've just become a beta. You become a plow horse. You're a doormat because you didn't learn how to say no to things because you kept giving and you kept giving and you kept giving. And eventually you're basically the frog boiling in the pot, right? If you throw a frog into a boiling pot of water, it's going to jump right out.
It's not a question of if you're going to get betatized, it's to what extent when you're dealing with a woman.
To what extent?
Like,
it's going to happen.
All guys
it's a natural
going to
thing.
get a little softer in the proximity of a woman on a long-term basis. It's been shown that your testosterone levels
literally
do go down when you get married and have children because it's a function of you not sort of running off and scattering more seed and, investing in what you have. So guys will get softer in close proximity to a woman. It's just to what extent are you going to allow it to happen? And most guys just let it go right off the fucking chart. They don't put the brakes on it.
And now you're a shell of the guy that you once were, and she sees you as a bitch now.
I see these guys at the gym all the time, man. They're fat, they're out of shape, but they got the barbed wire tattoo around their arm from their 19th birthday or something like that, when their dads finally said, go ahead, fucking, get the stupid tattoo that you want. And they were all jacked and in good shape. And now there's some fat, out of shape guy, but they still got the barbed wire tattoo. They still have the alpha tell. Yeah. It's just they've gone through betatization. The guy said to me once when I was shaving my head, he goes, what's that like to shave your head? I'm like, it's easy. You get out of shower, shave your head, you're done. And he goes, man, I wish I could do that. I'm like, so what's stopping you? Oh, my wife won't let me. It's like, oh, another one of these guys, right?
Yeah, it's just,
what am I telling you?
God. I said this on my show last week, and again, we talked. We say there's a chapter in your book why smart men don't marry. But you know what? You and I have mutual friends that are married. We know guys that are in the circle that are married.
Yeah.
The idea is to give them the knowledge so they go in and they know what they're getting themselves into. And we say, look, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're just going to tell you what's likely going to happen to you if you choose to go down this path. But don't come crying to me when it doesn't work out. And I have
1, 2, 3, 4 very close friends that have gotten married in the last 16 months.
Couple years.
Marriage, like actual ceremony with a priest in a church. And they fucking know, they know everything. So walk into the slaughterhouse with your eyes wide open, as I say.
But the point is, like, marriage doesn't inherently make you a beta male. Like we know guys that are married that are alphas that are in that situation.
Yeah.
They just say, you're not going to do that. My wife doesn't tell me shit. I tell her when to be, where to be, what to do, what not to do all the time. She falls into place. And you can absolutely be a guy into a relationship or an LTR and not be married and think that you're like playing the game, right? Like, oh, I'm never going to get married. But you know what? She betatizes you. She treats you like a piece of shit. Like she's she's a shark and you're her food. So, you know, you can tell a lot by, I care more about when I'm evaluating a guy for potential social circle or for the tribe or whatever it is, I take into much consideration how their dynamic actually works. I don't care if you guys are married or not for the most part. You can be unmarried, but if I see her browbeating you and running her mouth to you and calling you names and stuff like that, you're gone. I don't care if you're married. Now you can be a married guy and you can say, yeah, my wife would never do that. She knows her place. So it's much more on how you control the relationship, regardless of whether there's a piece of paper involved or not.
Mm-hmm. Terry here says an alpha accepts responsibility for the group. Women tend not to do this. Being loud and over opinionated doesn't make you an alpha. This is true, right? Like you have a responsibility to your family, you know, to your kids. Women prioritize their obligations to themselves and the kids, and not so much to their husbands. We see women leave guys all the time in a marriage when things aren't going well. He's not able to keep down a job. His health is deteriorating. Any number of things. And there are some good women that will stay, but there's a large contingent of them. They're like, fuck it, I'm out.
Right. Yeah. Indeed.
So yeah, there's some truth to that. You got a few more things. You got Disney Rush and a few more things. Before we continue, let me just run the ad reel.
Yeah, let's do it.
Take a break, and then we'll continue. I think you dropped the link for call-ins too. So if you guys want to call in.
Yeah, it's pinned to the chat.
Yeah, do that. We'll be back in a minute. This episode is sponsored by richcooper.ca. Brothers, if you're like me and take what you put in your body seriously, you're going to want to use the Unplugged Alpha supplement line. An obsession with absorption is what sets this line apart from the others. You want to make sure that you absorb as much of the supplements as possible so you don't end up peeing out expensive urine. My supplement line is made in the United States from the highest quality domestic ingredients, and unlike cheap supplements from China in plastic bottles, mine ship in dark glass bottles to keep your supplements fresher, longer, and won't seep endocrine disrupting plastics into your supplements. Nothing is a hard tablet. Everything is in an easily digested, bioavailable capsule. You can filter all products by their various categories, including testosterone support, estrogen metabolism, fat burning, immune health, sleep support, and performance. Visit theunpluggedalpha.com/shop and use the subscribe and save option over here to get 10% off your supplement order, or use coupon code ALPHA10 for 10% off a one-time order to try it out. Men, if you want to know everything that I know today that I wish my dad taught me in my 20s, join the School of Unplugging. There are over 30 hours of lessons currently, a well-organized discussion board, and weekly Zoom calls held by experts with backgrounds in strength, nutrition, finance, investing, and entrepreneurship, all for one low monthly membership. Visit richcooper.ca and on the courses tab, hit the School of Unplugging and get started here. Guys, make sure you visit my website for my communities, requesting a private one-on-one consultation, or learning about my future events. And don't forget to opt into my email list over here to get my newsletter. Let's get on with the show. Nice. You want to tell the guys about the preschool, because you just set up a free version of the School of Unplugging, which isn't in that ad reel. I figure it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, we do have a free version of the School of Unplugging. Essentially, what that is you get the message board. You can connect with guys that are in the preschool. All of the course material is behind individual paywalls, so you can kind of pick a la carte. You know, if you want to get better, in your bedroom game, for example, if you want to know about LTRs, if you want to talk about raising unplugged kids, your strength and your physique, all of that can be unlocked sort of on an individual basis. The expert-led Zoom calls are in the paid version, so if you want to get involved in that, then you'll have to go ahead and get into the paid version. But there are some, things, and there are some nuggets of wisdom in the preschool. We've got about 150 members. The first 250 are going to be free. After that, it's going to be probably a small fee.
I'll drop the link for you guys.
Something
right now,
like that. But yeah, if you guys want to come and jam in on that, yeah, feel free to come on in. And we've gotten, I mean, we announced it a week ago. We've already got 150 members, so I expect that to fill up quickly.
Yeah, so get in there. It's free for now, but there'll be a small charge after a while when we start have to, because I mean, like, we got to moderate it. There's like, we had some guy post some shit in there for a GoFundMe the other day to go to school in some African country. It's like, okay, guys, this is not panhandling. But you don't get that in the school Unplugged. Oh, by the way, I just added another module in there today. I forgot to tell you, Moff. So, you know, if you guys are running the school, there's one from peptides. It's like 45 minutes long, and I break down all the peptides that I use, the benefits, fat burning, sleep. You can even get a better tan with peptides, but the one that works the best is BPC 157, which is great for your joints. If you have a joint injury, lower back, knees, shoulder, stuff like that. So check that one out. Anyway, what else did you have on the list? Like Disney Rash and stuff or something?
Yeah, there was a couple of them. One that just came up. I'll go over the. Well, there's two things that came up besides that. I saw this the other day, and I was just like, "This is fucking disgusting," but I can go into it. So there's this group of very large women, so to speak, that go. I'll open up the tweet here in a second.
Oh, they got a rash from walking?
Yeah, let me.
I saw this.
They're called the plus size park hoppers. It's this group of women. They say like they're all morbidly obese. Yeah, let me.
But are they walking the park? So at least they're getting some steps.
They are walking the park, and they are getting these what they call Disney Rash. I'll just play a little bit of it here. 2x to 5x.
Wow. Is there any audio for that?
Oh, is it not playing audio?
No, I can't hear shit.
Oh. Okay, hold on. There's audio should be on. Anybody else? Can you guys all also not hear audio?
Maybe you got to hit the share audio when you share the screen. I don't know.
All right, let me try one more time.
It's defaulted on mine on.
Bookmarks. All right, hold on. Let me pop it out. Yeah, let me know if you still can't hear it.
Yeah, there's no sound on my end, but no sweat.
Still nothing? All right.
No.
Basically,
in the comments, there's no audio.
Yeah. They're saying
basically their ankles are rubbing together, creating rashes. But at least they're getting steps in, right?
They're getting their steps, but they're all getting this. They're saying it's really common for anybody that goes to Disney World, but it's literally just them. Like,
I mean, it's because you're overweight is what the problem is.
Yeah.
You can put as much aloe vera on your fucking legs as you want. If you're overweight, you're gonna run into problems walking around a lot. But dude, at least they're moving.
Sums it up right here.
Yeah, you give them credit for at least moving.
Well, they also, this isn't even the first video they've done. If I can't do audio, that's fine. But they've also, there's another video of them going around to different restaurants within the park and then doing reviews on whether they fit in the chairs or not.
Oh,
and they say, if you're a certain size, you don't want to come here because they're booths and you won't be able to fit. And this, it's just, my God. And then there was a tweet that went viral around Disney adults. And it's just, it's the perfect, if you want to piss off a bunch of people and you want to go viral, just make a tweet making fun of people that go to Disney as adults. And the people coming out of the woodwork saying like, oh, I couldn't afford to go as a kid, so now I'm trying to heal my inner child as an adult. It's just like, man, it's.
I've been to Disney.
Are so willing to out
California
as weirdos. Yeah.
Yeah, I took my kid there. She was young. She wanted to see. I was like, all right. I don't know how people get like seasons passes to places like that. To me, going there multiple times a year or hopping from these parks to parks is like the very definition of torture.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't want to say too much.
They're just tourist traps. They're just bright lights and bullshit and gift shops of just bullshit that you don't need.
Yeah, it's if you want to see
celebrate
consumerism. Yeah, I mean, it's like going to an outdoor airport.
Like all the Star Wars guys, they fucking did an amazing job with the Star Wars setup there.
Yeah,
I can see why the dorks.
Well,
like
Universal
it.
is cool.
It's very
Universal
fucking
is
well put
actually
together.
pretty cool. Like Disney itself, Universal is all right. Like Universal's got the rides and it's based
Yeah.
on like movies and film and stuff like that. But the Disney stuff, I mean, I went when I was a kid. I was 9. I went to Disney
Yeah.
World down in Orlando, and I'll be going again in January with my young family or part of my young family. But that's it. Like I'm not going by myself.
Yeah. fuck that.
So the other thing I saw is that there's this former Mr. Beast employee who, see if I can have, I don't know if I can find the article. It's just more tweets. But there was a former Mr. Beast employee accused of basically engaging in inappropriate conduct with a minor. So there's this
What's going on here?
I think Chris Tyson is the name. KRIS Tyson was a dude with a wife and a kid, and then gave into the trans bullshit, and is I don't know if wonder if there's a photo or video here. So yeah, and now there's all these texts coming out that when this thing was the kid was 16 or something like that. Basically, it's the equivalent of like a college kid having very sexually inappropriate text messages with like a high school freshman. So again, these people continue to out themselves. They continue to show their true colors. They continue to show why they belong in mental hospitals, not in our schools, not in our swim meets, not in athletics with regular normal people. And even to this point, I had this other tab that was open with Elon. So Elon recently did sort of an interview. If I don't have any audio, but you might be able to. I don't know if this is playing. Is this still not giving me any audio? No audio. Oh, Rich dropped. Okay, am I on by myself right now? Well, hey guys, hell. Anybody? Do you guys have audio on this video or no? Let me get a thumbs up or thumbs down in the chat. Yes, no, check no. All right, no audio. Anyway, I'm not sure what happened to Rich. I think he had some issues with his computer before we even jumped on board. But basically, he had an interview with Jordan Peterson. Really tough, man. It was a really tough watch. He was breaking down, talking about how he was basically duped into putting his oldest son, Xavier, on puberty blockers. And they said, well, if you don't put your kid on puberty blockers, he's got a 40% chance. Like they use the threats of your kid might off himself, and they use suicide and say, oh, well, your kid might die. They might do X, Y, Z if you do not do this, and they're totally safe and they're totally reversible and it's not a big deal. And you can kind of see that this was the moment that Elon decided. He basically said, this is what started my arc in wanting to take down the woke mind virus. So if you guys find that interview he did with Jordan Peterson, it's a couple minutes long. Sorry, there's no audio on. Usually when I share stuff, there's audio, so I'll have to figure that out. Maybe there's some settings on StreamYard that we use, but that's sort of that. But yeah, Rich probably had to restart his computer. I think he actually texted me. Hold on, guys. Can't get back. My internet died. Finished without me. Well, we're at about an hour anyway. If anybody wants to call in and chop it up really quick before we hop off, you certainly can. I would say I think I may do a show tomorrow night. I'm not going to be able to do a show on Thursday. I'm going to be with the 10% guys in San Diego for a meetup. But yeah, man, School of Unplugging is where it's at. We're definitely going to be increasing the price probably in the next 20 or so or 25 members that join. It's right now it's $129 a month. It's an absolute steal what you guys get value wise. I mean, 30 hours plus of content, 100 plus guys that are already in the community, Zoom calls from experts and things like that. So we hope to see some of you guys in there. And if you just want to join the free school and kind of see what it's about, that's fine as well. There, here he is. He's back. I just got your text, but I was just starting to wrap up anyway. So
yeah, I'm just plugging in these headphones, man.
Yeah.
I had to switch computers. I think my main workstation might need a replacement.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, because I was sharing that video, so I didn't see your screen, and then I was talking to myself, and then I just came back, and you were gone.
Yeah.
So no, what I was talking about was Elon just did an interview with Jordan Peterson talking about how he was basically duped and tricked into putting his kid on puberty blockers, and that is what kind of set him off on this whole kill the woke mind virus. And everybody who's been on Twitter for the last year has seen his sort of anti-woke,
Well, I mean, it's a failure
BS.
in parenting, right? Like him
100%.
and his ex-wife. I can't remember her name, but they've got like 5 kids together or something like that.
Yeah.
But she played a part in letting that happen too. And
Yeah.
like we were talking about earlier, every guy in a relationship in proximity to a woman and children goes through betatization. It's just to what extent. And that's just an example of when Elon Musk went through betatization on a critical decision with his son that he agreed to. He said he was tricked, but fuck me, you're Elon Musk. You're not stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can see it on his face. You can hear it in his voice, the pain and what he's feeling. So
pain's the hard part.
It's gotta be. But I mean, he's, if anybody's going to change the world, he's got the capabilities and facilities to do it. So, but we've seen, people try to take him down at every turn, and I'm Team Elon, man, for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I had anything else for this evening. We covered, most everything I had. So I don't know if you had anything left to roll, but
no, that's it, man. My desktop fried, so I just switched over to the laptop. But
all right, cool.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed this format a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, this is cool.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. The live chat's pretty busy. We got a whole bunch of people watching according to the live counter, so that's pretty solid. But yeah, we're going to continue to do those. It's going to be called Chopping It Up. Let us know how you like it in the comments, what maybe you'd like to hear us talk about. And yeah, we'll fucking do it. I got a live Coffee with Coop show in the School of Unplugging every Wednesday morning. So if you guys are in the school, you can pop in and just ask me anything privately there. I know a lot of people want to stay anon and be private at the same time, but yeah, it's cool. But yeah. I liked it, Moff. I liked it. So I'll see you again next Monday, and I'll be on Wednesday back with the Unplugged Alpha podcast. I got a show lined up. You're still doing office hours, so all good, guys.
Yeah, I might do it tomorrow because I'm gonna be traveling on Thursday. I might move the show to Tuesdays. I got to figure it out because I think I mentioned before. Every time I do something with the community and the meetups, it's always like travel day on Thursday. So I'll figure something out. But I'll move what I need to move around.
San Diego, right?
Yeah, we're in San Diego this weekend, doing the Grand Canyon hike, rim to rim to rim, middle of August. So that's like 4 or 5 weeks away at this point. Got a lot of shit going on. So, guys, never been a better chance to get involved. 43 straight, no breaks, no rest. Wow, no camping. 18 straight hours. Yeah, we're getting after it.
18 straight hours of walking.
18 straight hours. Yeah.
That's insane.
Hiking. Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
That's insane.
So,
all right, well,
cool.
You guys have a good time, I'm sure.
I'll run the outro, and then we'll get out of here, man. But, yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Peace.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed that podcast, make sure you visit my website at richcooper.ca to learn more about my courses, my book, The Unplugged Alpha, community, or booking me for private coaching. Also, if you are a Canadian with $15,000 or more of credit card debt and what you are doing right now isn't paying off the balances, then visit totaldebtfreedom.ca and hit get a free quote to see if you qualify to settle your credit card debt for less than you owe today over the next 48 months. Make sure you check out the top pinned comment on YouTube for all the links mentioned during the